Hello, everyone. I'm MisterFrisco, and this is my podcast. And before we embark on this exciting journey together, click on the subscribe icon to join my podcast and stay updated on all our Frisco real estate and social news. So, today on my podcast, Frisco May Housing Market Insight. Trent Mason, owner of Freedom Plumbing, and you will discover the magic of Kaleidoscope Park in Frisco.
Meet Mr. Frisco, a realtor selling residential real estate in Frisco and far North Dallas. As a former professional athlete, track and field, and strength and conditioning coach, Mr. Frisco immigrated to the USA 20 years ago with $50 in his pocket, a suitcase, and zero English to pursue the American dream and build a successful real estate business. Hardworking, persistent, customer service, and detail-oriented, Mr. Frisco strives to secure a smooth closing on his client's biggest investment, their home. He puts his experience and knowledge to serve his clients the best way possible. Building his business by referral allows him to maintain relationships with his clients and serve them even after the transaction is closed. This is Frisco Realty News with Mr. Frisco.
So, the Frisco real estate market continues to exhibit robust activity with several key indicators reflecting notable changes for the previous year and month. Here is a detailed look at the market dynamics as of May 2024. The median price for existing home sales in Frisco for May 2024 is $681,000, marking a 4.8% increase compared to the same period of the last year. This price also represents 1.6% rise from April 2024. The steady increase in home pricing indicates ongoing demand in the Frisco housing market. The inventory levels have seen a significant rise. As of May, there are 456 homes available for sale, which is a 56.7% increase from the same time last year. Moreover, inventory grew by 30% from April to May. The substantial increase in homes for sale suggests that more homeowners are looking to capitalize on the favorable market conditions. The number of homes sold in May 2024 reached 2016, which is a 4.9% increase compared to April 2024. Additionally, home sales saw a 9.9% rise from April 2024. The increase in sales activity indicates a healthy demand through its accompanied by a rise in inventory, where the numbers of pending home sales remains unchanged from the last year. May saw a decrease in pending sales compared to April, with 200 homes under contract. This slight drop in pending sales could be an early indicator of market slowdown, as fewer homes are moving towards closing. The median days on the market for homes in May 2024 increased to 11 days, up from 9 days in April and higher than the same period last year. The change suggested that homes are taking slightly longer to sell, which could be a response to the increased inventory. The month's supply of inventory stands at 2.8 months, well below the 6 months considered indicative of a balancing market. Despite the increase in inventory, the market remains a strong seller's market driven by presented demand of homes in Frisco. So, in summary, the Frisco real estate market remains active and dynamic. The rise in home prices, increased in inventory, and growth in home sales underscore the outgoing demand. However, the slight increase in days in the market and the decrease in pending sales may suggest the beginnings of a market adjustment. As always, both buyers and sellers should stay informed about these trends to make well-informed decisions and in this competitive market. And now let me introduce you to my guest, the Freedom Plumbing owner, Trent Mason. Hey, Trent, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Victor.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So we have been knowing each other for probably 12 years and something.
Yeah,
and we met on some of the network events. And that's how our relationship developed. But how did you decide to get in the plumbing business?
Well, as far as plumbing itself, not necessarily open my own business. I've got into plumbing when I was 18 years old. I was looking for a job. I was come from a construction background. My grandfather owns a commercial interior construction company, and found a company that was hiring, something I hadn't done before, and I got into it and really fell in love with the trade. There's so many different aspects of it as far as your water and sewer and gas, that sort of thing. You weren't doing the same thing every day is what I liked about it. But I was 18 when I started plumbing.
Wow. Okay. And so when did you start Freedom Plumbing?
So me and my wife started Freedom Plumbing in 2009. Week of Thanksgiving, 2009.
Right.
And then I'd just gotten my master plumber license, and decided to branch out on our own. And we've been doing that ever since. Initially started out with just me working. Within 2 months, she came on full time to run our office for us. And we've been running ever since. So.
All right. So what do you focus? Plumbing is a pretty much, broad job, from piping huge, skyscrapers to just replace a faucet, for example. So what's your focus?
Yeah, our focus is service and repair for residents. We do a little bit of commercial service work, but 99% of our stuff is all service and repair work. So dealing with water leaks, drain leaks, gas leaks, appliance issues and fixture issues like toilets and faucets and sinks. Water heaters are a big thing that we deal with. Then you brought up multiple different facets of this industry. There's a new construction and like a remodel side, and then a service side. There's kind of three different aspects to it, and we kind of focus on that service and repair side. So a homeowner that's in a house or about to buy a house, that's who we want to focus on, and not necessarily somebody that's building a new place, which is not a part of the industry we get into.
Okay, and do you do remodeling? Let's say somebody needs to move pipes around or stuff. Do you do that?
We do on a smaller scale. I just don't get into whole gutting a house down and moving bathrooms from one end of the house to the other. It's just a manpower thing. We'd rather get out and help the people that have a water heater that's leaking or a faucet that's running on them or something like that. We do most of our stuff. That first half of our job is investigation and trying to figure out the least invasive way to fix the problem, because we're dealing with people that are currently living in a home. New construction and remodel is a little bit different, as opposed to it's usually more of a construction site as opposed to somebody's house, and you're usually not dealing directly with the homeowner on those. We like to have a relationship with that homeowner so we can deal with them directly.
So yeah, I see that you built your business based on building relationships. Okay, you touch my weak spot now, leaks, all right? I get two major floodings at home, but I know a lot of people, and you mentioned about water heaters. A lot of people I know personally, they have a flooding caused by water heater. And what would you recommend? If somebody has a water heater, I mean a tank water heater, and would you recommend to have a rather tankless versus tank water heater?
So as far as tank versus tankless, it's really on a per need basis. It's a lot more expensive to put in a tankless. So if you're not going to get any of the benefits that a tankless gives you, if you're not needing any of those aspects that you get out of a tankless, as far as like endless hot water, A little bit, you get a little bit of money savings on your energy costs, that sort of thing. But if you're not running out of hot water in your house, it usually doesn't make a whole lot of sense to switch over to tankless because it usually costs a significant amount more. Maybe if you're needing that space for something else, maybe if you're renovating the kitchen and the water heater's in the kitchen, you need to make that a pantry, we can move that and put a tankless in a lot smaller spot. But as far as flooding, the best thing I could tell people is to have some sort of a water alarm, if not a flood stop valve. A water alarm is a separate device from the water heater that sits at the base of it, and it will have an audible alarm if it starts to leak, so people know it's leaking. If it's up in the attic and it's leaking, you may not even know it until it's coming through your ceiling. And a little bit better device than that would be a flood stop, which would not only set off an audible alarm, but also shuts the water off to the water heater. So that would keep it from flooding that house that way too.
So when people have to start keeping an eye on their water heater, what's the lifetime?
So the life of a standard traditional tank heater depends a whole lot on the quality of the water coming in. So if you have a whole lot more of your chlorines and chemicals like that in the water, it's going to wear out that water heater a little faster. I see people that are on wells that have just pure water coming out of the ground and run through their own filtration system, and their water heaters are lasting 20, 25 years. Standard city water, you're usually somewhere in the 10 to 15 year mark on average. I mean, some of them last a little longer, some last a little less, but about 10 to 15.
So after 10 years, you have to start keep an eye there. But how can you figure out that this water heater is to be replaced before start leaking?
A lot of times there's some signs that you'll notice with a tank style heater. For instance, if you have a white bathtub and you fill it up with water, and all of a sudden you notice the color of the tub under the water line is darker than the color of the tub above the water line, that's usually because you're getting a little bit of rust in your water that's coming from the water heater. I see that when people open up maybe a tub or a sink that they don't use very often. You'll see like a little bit of brown water come out on the hot side first before the clear water comes out. That's because you're starting to get rust in that water heater. It's time to start thinking about replacing it before it damages your house.
All right. So freezing. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a pretty much trendy now here in Texas. What would you recommend people to prevent their pipes from freeze during these 3-4 days in Texas that we have on freezing temperatures?
Mm-hmm. So freezing, as far as any fixtures that are on an outside wall, you really want to not only run a drip like you've heard, but you really want almost like about as thick as pencil lead stream of water coming out of these faucets. You want to make sure it's a mixture of hot and cold so you can get water moving on both sides. Water's not going to freeze as fast as long as it's moving. So if you have a small stream of water flowing out of those fixtures, it'll keep it from freezing. Insulating outside hydrants is the best solution for those. Sometimes even these frost-free ones, if they're on the north side of the house, they can still bust. So just cover up all your faucets on the outside. Most people aren't using those in the winter anyway. And keep the heat, open the cabinet doors so you can get heat to these pipes that are underneath your faucets and stuff, especially the ones that are on outdoor walls, on exterior walls.
All right. And the next question. White plumbing, you told me, a little bit, but now I know that it's very difficult to find plumbers. Mm-hmm. In Texas, as I know, we have a shortage, and there are not many young people getting into this profession. Mm-hmm. What would you say about that? You had a hard time to hire.
Yeah, so as far as we're licensed trades in general in this state are shorthanded. You're talking electricians, air conditioners, and plumbers. The average age of a licensed plumber in the state of Texas is 58 years old. I mean, that's starting to get up close to retirement age, and we just don't have a big influx of younger people coming in. The state has stepped in and has started approving some programs for high school and junior colleges, so they can come. Kid that signs up for this program as a freshman in high school, he comes out of high school with a tradesman license, with a plumbing license, so he can go directly to work and not have to go be an apprentice for a company. He's already got all that experience in high school or junior college. So they are trying to fix some of that problems with us being shorthanded. But it's trying to find kids that would want to do a physical construction type job or a service type job, as opposed to being in the air conditioner or being being somewhere indoors is a constant challenge.
Yeah, I've heard that now that apparently many states do take the same steps like Texas, but I heard that the Generation Z now is getting into this, business, plumbing, electricians, and all this stuff. However, a last question: we got. We started our businesses almost together. You were just beginning your business, and now you're pretty successful plumber. What makes you successful, you think?
I think the fact that we've built our business strictly on repeat and referral business. I'm not going out and just trying to be the cheapest or the guy that has the best slogan or logo. I'm wanting to build a relationship with somebody so they call me back over and over again when they have plumbing problems. I mean, your average household, at least in this area, is going to have to call one service person or another out 3 to 4 times a year. I want to be that person that they call for their plumbing, so they're not having to sit there and dig through their Rolodex or go through their, go online and find somebody every time they have a plumbing problem. They can just call me and that sort of thing. So I would rather build a relationship than to sit there and try to retire off of every customer I go out to. I don't have to charge the most, on every single project. And a lot of times that's what people run into. They have a company come out and they don't like them, so they call somebody else the next time. And every time they have a plumbing problem, they'll just call somebody else. And I want them to be able to trust me, and that's why I build those relationships with my customers. I feel like that's why I've been successful.
Okay, so it's a good customer service, quality work, and building relationships, Absolutely. And you're getting a lot of referrals. All right. Well, if somebody would like to reach out to you for service, how they can reach you?
Yeah, the best way is just to call our office. Our office number is 214-205-8484. We'd be happy to come out and see what issue you got going on. And if it's something that we don't do, a lot of times we have somebody that we can refer out if it's an appliance issue or an electrical problem. We get those questions all the time as well, and we refer out those people as well. But we would love to help anybody that's got an existing house that has plumbing issues.
All right. Trent Mason, everyone, thank you very much. And if you need a good plumber, just call Trent Mason.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Kaleidoscope Park in Frisco. Let's talk about this park. It's a vibrant new addition of the community. Promises to be a heaven of art, nature, and recreation. Nested in the heart of the city, this park is designed to offer a diverse range of attractions and activities for visitors of all ages. The park well featured stunning public art in innovative architecture and beautiful landscape gardens, creating a captivating environment. Families will appreciate dedicated children's play area and the dog park, ensuring fun for both kids and pets. Performance lawns and technology terraces provide versatile spaces for events and relaxation, while shaded promenades and plazas offers comfortable spots to unwind. Visitors to Kaleidoscope Park can enjoy a variety of free programming through the year. The park will host concerts, films, music, and dance performances, bringing the community together for enriching cultural experiences. Recreational activities will also be available, encouraging everyone to stay active and engage. Whether you are looking for a Sirena garden stroll, an exciting event, or playful afternoon with your children and pets, Kaleidoscope Park has something for everyone. It's more than just a park. It's a dynamic space where art, nature, and community come together in perfect harmony. This is all for today. Thank you for turning into my real estate podcast. I will see you on my next episode. And remember, your dream home is just a click away.